Good evening. This is the Left, Right and Centre and I'm Maria Shakil. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today sounded the poll bugle for the 2024 elections with a feisty speech in Parliament. In his hour and 45 minutes long speech, the Prime Minister declared that his government will return for a third term, setting a target of 370 seats for the BJP and 400 plus seats for the NDA. Launching a scathing attack on the Congress, the Prime Minister said that the party only works for one parivar, while the BJP worked for the people in these 10 years. The speech also mocked the opposition alliance, calling it Bhanumati Ka Kumbha, and blamed the Congress for the dismal state of the opposition. The Prime Minister also defended the actions of agencies which the opposition regularly uses to attack the government. The Prime Minister said that the agencies will keep acting against the corrupt and that those who have looted will have to pay. Let's listen in to some key excerpts from Prime Minister Modi's speech in Parliament today.
अब हमारी सरकार का तीसरा कार्यकाल भी बहुत दूर नहीं है। ज्यादा से ज्यादा 100-125 दिन बाकी है और अब की बार पूरा देश कह रहा है, अब की बार खड़गे जी भी कह रहे हैं। लेकिन अध्यक्ष जी, मैं आमतौर पर ये आंकड़े के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन मैं देख रहा हूं देश का मिजाज एनडीए को तो 400 पार कर पाई के रहेगा, लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 370 सीट अवश्य देगा। बीजेपी को 370 सीट और एनडीए को 400 पार। ये कांग्रेस की सुस्त रफ्तार, कांग्रेस की सुस्त रफ्तार का कोई मुकाबला नहीं। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, शहरी गरीबों के लिए हमने गरीबों के लिए 400 घर हमने गरीबों के लिए, आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, हमने गरीबों के लिए 4 करोड़ घर बनाए। और शहरी गरीबों के लिए 80 लाख पक्के मकान शहरी गरीबों के लिए बने। अगर कांग्रेस की रफ्तार से घर बने होते तो क्या हुआ होता, मैं इसका हिसाब लगाता हूं। अगर कांग्रेस की जो रफ्तार थी उस प्रकार से चला होता तो 100 साल लगते, इतना काम करने में 100 साल लगते, 5 पीढ़ियां गुजर जाती। इनके समय में एजेंसियों का सिर्फ और सिर्फ राजनीतिक उपयोग के लिए उपयोग किया जाता था। कांग्रेस के समय में ईडी ने 5000 करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति जब्त की। हमारे कार्यकाल में ईडी ने 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति दी। देश का लूटा हुआ माल देना ही पड़ेगा। देश नोटों के ढेर देख देख करके चौंक गया है, लेकिन अब जनता को आप मूर्ख नहीं बना सकते। जनता देख रही है। हमने लाखों करोड़ के घोटाले तो अटकाए, लेकिन उन सारे पैसों को गरीबों के काम लगा दिया, गरीबों के कल्याण के लिए। जिसको जितना जुल्म मुझ पर करना है कर ले, मेरी भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ाई चलती रहेगी।
Congress hit back at the Prime Minister, saying he doesn't have anything new to say and it's time for Prime Minister to take responsibility.
आज बहुत थक गए लगे, कुछ भी नई चीज नहीं सुनाई दिया। जो भी उन्होंने कहा पहले कई बार कह चुके हैं, परिवारवाद के बारे में, कांग्रेस के खिलाफ, अरे नामदार कामदार के भाषण। नेहरू जी के देहांत होके 60 साल हो गए और फिर भी उसी गीत गाते रहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी। क्या हो गया? बहुत थक गया था शायद।
सारी समस्याओं के लिए लगभग उन्होंने कांग्रेस को जिम्मेदार ठहराया।
देखिए, ये तो कितने साल तक करेंगे आप? कांग्रेस जा चुके हैं, 10 साल आप सत्ते में हैं, तो आप कोई भी जिम्मेदारी ले लीजिए।
Let me bring in my guests. Madhu Yakshi Gaur, spokesperson of the Congress. We have Charu Pragya representing the BJP. Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist and author. Sanjay Singh, consulting editor at IANS. Sandeep Shastri, national coordinator, Lok Niti Network. Charu Pragya, let me begin with the criticism that's coming from the Congress that 10 years in government and still concern is largely about what Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi did.
Good evening, Maria. I think Prime Minister Modi was absolutely on fire today. He spoke with facts, he gave statistics, he quoted, and his whole speech was full of a lot of humor. I think he's very right to say that is bar 400 par, and Kharge ji also agrees with us, as PM Modi reminded us. His speech actually had a lot for those who were listening. Of course, the Congress does not bother to listen, so they are not going to find anything new. He gave us data which proves that when Modi ji talks about a mission he sets for the country, that mission is achieved. We reach our targets. Modi ki guarantee is important. Modi ki guarantee is going to take this election ahead. And Modi ki guarantee has proved true. Every promise we have made in our manifesto, sooner or later, is getting ticked off. And the people of India are realizing this. He speaks with a lot of pride, not just about our past, but he sets a roadmap and a vision for the future of this country. Next 1,000 years he's talking about. He's talking about how people are getting homes. How many homes have got Jal Se Nal? 11 crore लोगों को पानी मिला, 4 crore लोगों को गांव में उनके घर मिले, 80 लाख लोगों को शहरों में उनके घर मिले, 55 crore लोगों को आयुष्मान योजना का कार्ड मिला, 80 crore लोगों को राशन मिला. Did the Congress miss all this? And all of this is while we are working to make our economy better and better every day. We're the fastest growing economy in the world and we are slated to become the third largest very soon. Modi 3.0 is going to be historical and India is going to claim its prominent position on the global platform even in a better way than it has been till today. Okay, but Congress ki problem pata hai kya hai, Maria? They are this khisyani billi kind of people. They don't want to focus on the content which the speech had. They will think that because we say Namdar and Kamdar, they can focus on that and deflect the attention of the people.
Madhu Yakshi got a specific point that the Prime Minister made, that the Congress Prime Ministers of the past, be it Indira Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru, did not really have faith in the capabilities and capacities of Indians. Why?
Yeah.
Maria, do you want me to remind what was the country when we got independence? What was the population? What was GDP? What was the total revenue of the country at that point? Who built the Bakranangal projects to IIM, IITs, and all those defense projects which launched during Nehruji's time? I don't want to remind all those things. What I would like to ask Pradhan Mantri ji is, where did you get his number? They talk about number, there's something fishy about it, number one. Secondly, same our Pradhan Mantri from the Red Fort rampart, he announced
why are you saying
that in the entire country.
Madhu,
country, yes,
here is the Prime Minister who is saying something that Mr. Kharge also said, ab ki baar 400 par. So he has confidence in his work. So, if anything, the speech reflected a sense of confidence. So why are you calling it fishy?
Kharge ji has just said it. What is the rhetoric? They do it and they get that number where the best of the best agencies and they were never able to predict those numbers. How these guys are getting those numbers? This is something fishy and which we all demanding about ballot paper voting system. Remove these CVMs, which they never agree for it. Now, secondly, Maria, all that boasting which Prime Minister is claiming, same from the Red Fort, he claimed that a few years ago, that every school in the country, toilets been provided. Today, went to the school right outskirts of Hyderabad and where I studied, and Jilla Parsa school. The headmaster says, we are going to have some funds allocated. Sir, we want toilets for the girls and the boys in the school. So what Mr. Modi's claims and what reality is?
Okay.
There's no
So
comparison.
let me bring in.
And it's just rhetoric. Yeah.
Okay.
That one quick example I can counter to what
the
he's claiming
BJP
is false.
and the Congress reactions are on expected lines, as it was in Parliament and outside as well. So let me bring in the experts. Sandeep Shastri. The Prime Minister, in his entire speech, has targeted only the Congress party in the India bloc. It could have been that, the magnet of opposition unity, which certainly the Congress is not. If anything, it has become a weakling. Do you think that becomes an important part? Because they realize that by targeting the Congress, you actually break the notion of any kind of unity of an India bloc or an opposition bloc.
Maria, today's was a typical aggressive, combative, and rhetorical, I will not say Prime Minister Modi, but Mr. Modi, the leader of the BJP.
Yes.
Because this was a very clear first formal speech of the start of the 2024 campaign. Maria, coming to your specific question, I think there was a clear plan in making it a direct attack on the Congress, one of the most caustic attacks on the Congress that I have seen, that you launch only one product every time which fails. Also remember, by attacking the Congress, he was to a certain extent soft on the other opposition parties by saying that the Congress has not allowed you the space that you legitimately need, and this country wants a strong opposition. So I think it was a very interesting combination of points that he made. But of course,
the founder of the India bloc with him.
And he made a very powerful argument saying that all this will show that you will remain where you are. So I think in that sense, for me, this was the leader of the BJP, the one seeking a third term for the party, and I think clearly on whose name the party is going to contest the elections, which the Prime Minister himself said as part of his speech, that the third term, he says, will see a Modi guarantee. So it's not today about the BJP government, it's not today about the NDA government, it's about very clearly
Modi the man. But I would say also, Sandeep Shastri, it's similar to 2014, when Prime Minister Modi and the BJP ran that campaign, that ek vote on Kamal will be about Prime Minister. It will go to Mr. Modi. Sanjay Singh, interesting aspect, while he has targeted Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi in the past as well, this time he said that those leaders did not have faith in the abilities of Indians. So, that is the connect, I would say, to the new generation. That you have had prime ministers who doubted the abilities, who kept on talking about Indians in the context of being lazy Indians, or belittled the people of India. And here is someone who's saying that I have faith in your abilities, go out there, win the world, because of what we have achieved in 10 years, what more we can do in the next 5 years.
Maria, you are absolutely right. Because if you look at it, India had gained independence, and thereafter to say people out here are lazy, people of India were actually very hard-working, given adverse circumstances that we're in. And also the whole lot of other things which are now floating on social media for quite some time about Nehru and about Indira Gandhi, what did they said and what they did. Contrast that with 2014 when Prime Minister Modi was elected as Prime Minister and he was designated as BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate. And then it was felt that the burden of expectation, the kind of expectations Modi raised, would be too difficult to fulfill. And what he comes out, he says that the expectation are legitimate. The country needs to have expectation. You need to have a dream. And therefore, till such time people have expectation from the ruling class that won't otherwise materialize. So it's good to have that kind of expectation. Second, he talked about demographic dividend when we all were talking about population boom and kind of those kind of things. So Modi, even in earlier RCC, when he launched his campaign, if you remember, he said half glass, half full, half empty. and therefore he came out with a new narrative on that particular subject. So, and in the end, making it about the regional political parties, you said, to my understanding, he made a clear attack. He left out others, but made a clear attack on Lalu Prasad Yadav. Those who have been convicted of corruption and are out on parole, even they are being honored and given quite a prominent position. Mild reference about West Bengal, about bags of currency notes. But all in all, I think when he is talking about third term, he is also looking at what he said in perhaps his first term cooperative federalism. So that perhaps could be post-poll scenario, as it is Congress is weak. So therefore, he made a jibe, motor mechanic and Rahul Gandhi going to bullet repair shop. So that particular jibe was also not lost to people. And then the
Namdar versus Namdar we have heard in the past as well. But I'm going to come back. But Sanjay Singh, Rashid, I have heard in the past the Prime Minister has made several references to the Gandhis, Indira Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. But, this kind of statement, which was made by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, former Prime Minister, which of course would hurt the Indians at this particular juncture. For her to say, it is our habit that when a good work is approaching completion, we become complacent, and when an obstacle comes, we lose hope. Sometimes it seems the whole nation has accepted defeat. I mean, to say that a nation is defeatist would mean that the youth of the country, which is a constituency that the BJP is reaching out to, they will also feel that there is a different kind of approach that the Prime Minister has had, Mr. Modi has had, vis-a-vis his predecessors.
Maria, we must remember this Prime Minister's political speech to say that Nehru and Indira Gandhi, disregarded, Indian affairs or considered Indians as lazy and all is far from truth. At their point of time, they won numerous elections. For instance, Prime Minister Nehru, first three elections, and Indira Gandhi, one of the most.
These are the speeches that were made by them. It's in the public domain.
I have read, yes, Maria, I am aware. When Prime Minister Nehru is 1959, when he's making a speech, what is he saying? He's saying, look at Europeans. At that time, Europeans were much, purely in terms of, if you look at the economic index, they were doing much better. He was giving example of Soviets. He was trying to, motivate Indians to compete with Europeans and Russians and others. So I don't see by any stretch of imagination. As I said, Prime Minister is entitled to make a, political gain, a political pitch for his speech. But, we must remember these were the, highly successful and very popular Prime Ministers. Indira Gandhi is considered 20th century, not only in India, in world history, she is considered one of the most popular leaders. That's the thing. Mr. Modi is making a political speech, and I agree, I concede this point that he is making a lot of impact because unki saak hai. See, when he speaks, people listen to him and people are attentive. It is only those who have a loyalty, who have a sense of belonging with the BJP will automatically be attracted to it. But Maria, please remember, in 2019, the BJP had contested on 437 Lok Sabha seats. This time, that Punba, I won't say Bhanumati or any other, Punba is increasing. You have, Uddhav, I have said Uddhav Thackeray, but probably he would. You have Nitish Kumar, you have so many, the Shinde group, and so many parties are coming and joining. It will be very difficult for the BJP to do, 370 or 400 power on its own strength, simply because you'll not be having so many seats to contest. So these are the dynamics. We must, just last thing, these are political rhetorics. Let's not start believing in them.
According to you, this was more rhetorical. That 370 is being too ambitious, Charu, and 400 is something, it's a great ambition to have, to perhaps break late Rajiv Gandhi's record, but it's not achievable. Because of particularly, 150 seats in the southern and eastern part of India, where you have not even opened your account in several states.
So, Maria, we are a political party that has gone from having 2 seats in parliament to where we stand today. So, let's leave the seats of the south for the time being. I want to reply about how everybody is saying why this entire campaign is becoming about Modi ji. But A gentle reminder, 2014 we said Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar. 2019 we said Namo again. If in 2024 we are again pitching our prime ministerial candidate forward with all our might and we are saying Modi ki guarantee, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's not just the
You
Bharatiya
ridicule
Janata
the word
Party
of
which is
guarantee,
propping
Charu.
up their own leader like this, because the Congress is propping up someone who's a mere MP instead of propping up your national president. You are talking about Rahul Gandhi as if he is the only crown prince who can make things happen, and you see how he's making things happen. He takes off on a yatra when he should have been on the drawing board today having discussions about the seat share. As for how many seats we will win, see, I'll tell you why BJP is confident and merely confident, not overconfident. Number one, as I said, we are delivering on our manifesto promises. Number two, we have a long-term vision for our country, a solid vision, and we are working on that vision, whether it is empowering the poor in the country, empowering people who work with their hands, the Shramiks, empowering the startup sector,
Charu,
the women going on.
While
Maria.
Now I'm coming
BJP
down
may
to
be
numbers.
empowering,
I'm
but I
coming
think
down
it's
to numbers.
also all right to actually appreciate and give credit for the contribution that has been made by Mr. Modi's predecessors, because the foundation for the $5 trillion economy was laid then. It may have been expedited in his tenure.
No, Maria. Before
but
Modi
but
came, there was
Maria
nothing.
did something.
Graciously,
India was nothing.
Maria,
As
very
per
graciously,
Modi,
Prime
as per
Minister
Modi
Modi
ji,
has
there's
always
nothing
given due
existing in
credit
India.
and appreciation.
All built
Sir,
by
may I
Mr. Modi.
speak? I think she asked me a question.
Charu,
Yes.
So
Charu, finish your point, then I bring in Madhu. Yes.
Yeah. Prime Minister Modi has been the most gracious when it comes to giving credit for contributions to nation building. It doesn't matter whom that person was aligned to and what their political ideology was. And he has been very fair where that is concerned. Now, if today a person as senior as Rashid ji says, oh, but that is not what PM Nehru meant, we have it on record, sir. You have the entire speech on record. The youngsters of the country can listen to it. I am sorry, Indians are not lazy.
One moment.
Indians had a situation
The Prime Minister today,
where
the Prime Minister today, while of course replying on the motion of thanks, he quoted the Finance Minister then, Mr. P. Chidambaram, who presented the interim budget for 2014-2015, saying that the Grand Old Party was proud of being the 11th largest economy in 2014. Of course, this has been a huge leap for India, that's no denying. But even having achieved 11th was not that bad. Would you agree, Charu?
Yes, absolutely. But we could have done better, Maria. If only 15 paise were not reaching the poor of the country and the whole 1 rupee went down, don't you think we would have done much better? If instead of passing projects on paper and not making roads in the Northeast had happened, don't you think we would have done better? If we were focused on uplifting every section of society instead of filling our own pockets, don't you think we would have done better? And what is wrong in stating that?
Okay. So that was statement of facts, Madhu Yakshi got.
Two things, Maria.
BJP. Yeah.
Two things, Maria. They are using selectively the statement of Nehruji's and Indiraji's. At what context they use such word, number one. Secondly, would like to remind Charu and her party what Vajpayee ji said about Indiraji when she liberated Bangladesh. She respected as a Kali Mata. Thirdly, Prime Minister should have been concentrating and speaking like a Prime Minister, enlisting what he has done to the nation in the past 10 years while thanking the motion to thank to the president. Rather, he is spoken as a BJP leader, using public exchequer, public taxpayers' money, using the platform of parliament. I have 10 years in the parliament. Manmohan Singh has never spoken like this, never made a political speech. And he should have concentrated rather than making a political speech. And thirdly, Maria, what is claiming demonetization, Prime Minister said it will eradicate complete black money. Where are you getting this hundreds of crores are caught? And he himself claiming that 1 lakh crores been seized. That he said demonetization, eradicate, stop corruption in the country.
One moment.
Where is
I
he
also
getting
want
it?
to understand from you because, the Congress is part of the
Can
India
I
bloc.
interject?
One moment. I'm coming to you, Charu.
No.
The larger
Yeah, you
concern,
asked-
don't you think you
Yes.
have that this India bloc is almost like a non-existent entity? What is India? What is this bloc?
Well,
Does it really
if
exist
it-
anymore?
Of course it is. There is a negotiation going. If Prime Minister is so confident of winning 400 seats, Why did he bring in Nitish again into the BJP bloc? And one of the
I think
BJP
it's for the psychological blow.
BJP,
it certainly has given a body blow to the India bloc because the founder is gone.
The BJP minister, one of major ministers, was claiming and justifying past 24 months Nitish and RJD the most corrupt government. If that is so, Nitish was chief minister. Why are you bringing the same corrupted chief minister into a bloc? If when they join the BJP, nothing.
Okay,
no
so will that be an argument that the Congress RJD can go to people with Sandeep Shastri, and what kind of response are you foreseeing from the people in terms of voters? What will their response be? Because, the Congress RJD will be saying this, that Nitish was supposedly corrupt when he was with us. Now that he has jumped the ship, he's all right, he's clean.
Maria, I think as the BJP goes into the campaign, they are going to clearly focus on their leadership. The Modi factor would be something they would try to make as their center point. As a result of which, most of these other things, other factors, the non-BJP NDA parties will also, as they go into the campaign, make the point that you are not voting for us, but you are voting for one more seat for Prime Minister Modi. So I think the rhetoric and the campaign is going to be structured very clearly on those lines. And again, I go back to the point I made earlier, Maria. The attack on the Congress and soft peddling the other opposition parties except Mamata and the RJD is a clear sign or a clear signal of the strategy that the BJP is adopting by saying that we want a strong opposition, but then the Congress is not allowing that strong opposition to come up. So factors like the switching of parties, I don't think will make a difference. And it is what I have been saying on your channel, the 4 M's, the Mahila vote, the Mazdoors vote, the Modi vote, and of course, the modern India. Today spoke about digital India, unicorns and startups of Bharat. So I think this is going to be their focus. How much does it work and does it result in that 370 or 405 is a different question. But clearly, as it stands today, they seem to be setting the agenda of the 2024 campaign.
And there was this attempt also to define what is dynasty politics, which the BJP disagrees with, and having same members of the family join. Sanjay Singh, do you think that there is a clarity of sorts? Because, that has been the charge by the Congress and other leaders in opposition, that the BJP also has several family members, sons and daughters of its leaders, being given place of pride in the party. So do you think the Prime Minister has attempted to respond to that charge as well? That there is no dynasty per se in the BJP? You have to unmute, Sanjay.
Yes, he was responding to that charge, and he was also giving talking point to lakhs of millions of his workers. If at all some opponent and some rival political party makes this charge, he can at least explain that what does a dynasty means or dynastic politics means. You are born with the silver spoon, इनका बेटा है तो अध्यक्ष ही होगा या मुख्यमंत्री इसके बाद का वही होगा, and so on and so forth. And therefore he made that line very clear. And I think he has done a good job, good thing for his followers, for his sympathizers, because this kind of talk will go on and on. There was a time when Kapil Sibal used to say biggest parivarwad is in BJP because सब परिवार कहते हैं, वो संघ परिवार कहते हैं तो सब परिवार का ही है. अब this kind of logic cannot bear fruit.
Right. So now that we are looking at a clear timeline of sorts, where the Prime Minister says that in 100 to 125 days, Rashid, it was like a psychological warfare that was playing out in Parliament as well. The Prime Minister telling the opposition in 100 to 125 days, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be sitting here. So what does it do to the opposition mind?
Yes, Maria, I think Prime Minister and the BJP continues to be a hot favorite for 2024. But just on what Sanjay was saying, I think this whole formulation of Parivarvad is an afterthought, and this is a little problematic because we know, Maria, that if there is somebody who's a son or daughter of a dynasty, they have a advantage in electoral era and even in party politics. And you look at even people like whoever, they become first among equals, whether it is Kamal Nath's son or Tarun Gogoi's son and all. So it need not be. The Congress has Malika Arjun Kharge as the Congress president, just as JP Nadda is a BJP national president. What happens behind the scene is, people know this. So I'm saying that this is not going to make a major difference. The problem with India alliances because they have not been able to stitch alliance. Mr. Rahul Gandhi should have been in Lok Sabha today. I mean, he's a member of the House. He should have responded. He should have led from the front if he fancies himself as an India alliance or Congress leader. The opposition is divided, and that's the thing. And just one last thing, Maria. See why Prime Minister is not attacking, regional parties and others. It's very simple. Half of them have been, the BJP's past allies, and half of them are potential allies. So therefore, he's very comfortable with them. He only targets the Congress, which has a legacy, which has a, lot of things that can be questioned and criticized.
And that number, this is a question to all the analysts, 370. Sandeep Shastri?
Maria, like a good student always sets his or her score for exam very high. Yeah. And therefore, BJP is doing precisely that. And they have succeeded in making that a narrative. Yeah. So
at least among the workers, it will be repeatedly talked about. But what does it...
Maria, the ideal and there is the practical. Yeah. What is being talked about is the ideal.
Maria,
yes. Madhu Yakshi God, Madhu, my question to you is, to dismiss Prime Minister's number is the duty of the opposition. That's what you are doing. But the absence of Rahul Gandhi, how is that justified on an important day such as this?
We have other leaders to speak or reply what his Prime Minister is talking about. Secondly, Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Yatra was decided much before than the Parliament session begins. Thirdly, Maria, quick point here. Mr. Modi talks about moral high. How can he claim himself that he's going to come back and as a Prime Minister? Isn't the duty of the MPs of his party to elect? And he has denied tickets to Advani's, to Murli Manohar Joshi's, to Sumitra Mahajanji on the age factor. How come he claims himself, declares himself, he comes back as Prime Minister and he criticizes other political parties of power-mongers, and that itself shows that how much is all by himself, megalomaniac attitude and the dictatorship attitude. That's what he's been saying it. If he's so high about why he's saying 370, Maria, he wanted to say what he has done on 370. He would like to appeal to the selective voters that he has finished the Article 370.
Leading into that 370 number, Charu Pragya, I did not think about it, but that is the way Congress is reading. Would you respond to that, Charu?
Well, Congress is always reading between the lines, but Modi ji was right when he said Bhanumati ne kunba joda, because it is not just Bhanumati ka kunba, they are together dekoing Mungeri Lal ke haseen sapne and pakawing Birbal ki khichdi. So all of the agendas and the myths that the Congress continues to talk about is just that, a fairy tale. And sir, you are very confidently saying Rahul ji had planned this yatra. Tell me, I'm so new in politics, I'm so young. Rahul ji has been on the political scene so many times, launched 20 plus times. Does he not have the political acumen to understand at a time like this? He should be visiting his alliance partners, having discussions about that. He can take half a day off from the yatra to be in parliament on important days. See, he sends a message that he's unserious, Maria. And he sends this message to the people of the country, not to us. BJP does not care. But this message is loud and clear to the people of the country. Why would people queue up behind a leader who's not serious about important days like this, who's not serious about seat share discussions, who does not know what is important or not?
Miss Charu, let me remind you, if it's important,
Sir, I'm sorry, you're feeling hurt by my statement, but isn't it the fact?
Thank you, but we don't require your advice, neither me, nor my party, nor Mr. Gandhi. Secondly, I would like to remind you, as a former member...
I'm not giving you advice. I'm giving my opinion as asked for by Maria. And I am saying that the people of the country can see the difference between the approach of our Prime Minister and Rahul Gandhi.
Have a little patience to listen to me. I wish you could be one of the days your party may nominate you to the parliament. As a former parliamentarian, I'm telling you, the duty of the Prime Minister inside the House should and act and speak like a Prime Minister of the country, not as a BJP leader. I'm totally disappointed as a citizen.
Okay.
Today, his speech is just like a typical BJP leader rather than a Prime Minister. He should
This was Prime Minister Modi's
He spoken like a
speech.
politician.
He has given an election speech, as perhaps we got a glimpse of what 2024 battle would look like. A quick word from all the experts. Sanjay Singh, beginning with you. Let's do a comparison between this speech and 2019. A quick word, 30 seconds.
First 2 seconds. Significance of 370 should not be lost. 370 comes in various forms, 370 repeal and 370 seats. So 370 is going to be talked about. 2014, when Modi came in, he came in, and as I said in the beginning, 2014, let us compare this with 2019, when Mulayam Singh said, सभी यहीं पे बैठे हैं because that was the last session and सभी जो जीत करके सभी सांसद जीत करके आए और मोदी जी आप दोबारा प्रधानमंत्री बनिए. And then there was no confidence motion and Modi had said कि I kind of you come again within 2023, 2024 with a no confidence motion. Congress did come with a no confidence motion, kind of saying almost kind of doing justice what Prime Minister Modi had said. Modi weaves a charisma. Modi is an orator par excellence. He either on floor of parliament or a public orator.
So who's really a match here? If he has made it a presidential election, Rashid, a potential prime minister that we had thought about perhaps in the public narrative was Nitish Kumar in 2015. And after that, he vanished in thin air.
Yes, Maria, I think that the Hindi slogan goes, it looks like no, koi nahi hai takkar mein. It is for the India Alliance, the Congress and opposition is to be blamed because they had a lot of time as compared to 2014 because there was Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was there. 2019 also, this sense of despondency and this kind of, disjointed kind of campaign was not there. So most people, including, the Congress sympathizers and supporters privately admit that 24 to gaya, ab 29 ko dekhenge. And this itself, I think, is very, it's a very telling commentary on opposition and the kind of democracy we are having.
So the opposition has stopped even planning for 2024. It's being seen as a done deal. But let's talk about the number and final words to you. Sandeep Shastri, 370, is it really far-fetched?
You see, every ruling party or every party which hopes to come to power will pitch its goals very high. And that's what the BJP has done. But Maria, 2 quick points. I think this is one of the most well-curated speeches from the perspective of a ruling party. What he said today would gladden the hearts of his supporters and give them wonderful talking points. And we have not mentioned one point which he made today. He said on the 75th Republic year, the president got into parliament and was honored coming into parliament, which was like answering the criticism that the president was not invited for the inauguration of the new parliament building. So I think this is a very well curated speech focusing on the BJP supporters and providing talking points to BJP supporters as the campaign goes forward.
And also my assessment would also be that the BJP is sending a message that they are not taking anything for granted. They may be firmly in the pole position, but they are continuing with their attack on the opposition, as is the strategy, at the same time reaching out to its newer voters and also sending a message to their captive audience that here are the reasons why you should look at them favorably yet again. Thank you so much for joining us, Madhu Yakshi Gaur, Sandeep Shastri, Charu Pragya, Rashid Kidwai and Sanjay Singh.